Approximately 1 in 285 children in the U.S. will be diagnosed with cancer before their 20th birthday. But because of major treatment advances in recent decades, 85% of these children now survive 5 years or more. However, for families, it's organizations like Children's Cancer Partner of the Carolinas that can help ease the burden of fighting the disease. Let's welcome its executive director, Laura Allen, and Catrice Smalls, mother of Mackenzie, who knows firsthand what it's like to fight alongside a child with cancer. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us today. And Catrice, so happy to hear of your daughter's survival and her thriving through this experience.
Yes.
Maybe you can share with us her experience.
At the age of 5, she just graduated from kindergarten. Seemingly everything was perfect. Getting ready for first grade, she started complaining of a headache just out of the blue. Living in South Carolina with the heat, you would have just thought like maybe she's a little dehydrated, give her some water, you know, just tell her to relax. And it proceeded on from that to her not really wanting to eat her favorite foods and just sleeping a lot. The final straw for me was she got up to walk one day and she walked like she wanted to fall.
Oh, no.
And I asked her, I said, "Are you okay?" And she said, "I just feel like I'm always going to fall." So from there I said, well, we need to go to the doctor to make sure that you're okay.
What was she diagnosed with?
She was diagnosed with stage 2 medulloblastoma.
Which is?
It's a brain tumor that sits on the cerebellum of the brain, which controls your central nerve systems, which is why she was walking funny. The tumor was actually pressing against her spinal nerve, which wasn't allowing her spinal fluid to flow the way it's supposed to, which was causing the headaches.
And especially at that age, and they're growing, and they need that healthy body to continue to grow, both mentally and also physically.
Yes.
And how long was the journey through treatment? Did she have surgery? Did she undergo chemotherapy?
She actually had surgery within less than 12 hours.
Wow.
The physicians told me had I waited any longer, she may not have survived due to the increasing pressure of the tumor on the spinal nerve. So from there, they took her into surgery within less than 12 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Her treatment protocol was only for 1 year. So from there, we went from surgery. She seemingly came out of surgery great. There were many side effects that they said that she would experience after the surgery, with having to relearn how to walk, how to talk. Her memory may not have been intact, and she woke up and she remembered everyone.
That's
she
amazing.
could walk, she could talk, she remembered faces, names.
And you say she's 12 going on 15 now.
She's 12 going on 15 now.
But how did you help Catrice and families like Catrice's through that process? Because not only do children get treated here in the state, but they have to go elsewhere as well. So where do you come in?
So we come in when the child is diagnosed with cancer, and where the social workers at the hospitals refer them to us. In South Carolina, there are 3 hospitals that treat children with cancer, and we're lucky in Charleston that there's MUSC just down the road. But for the other, 44, 43 counties where there aren't hospitals, it's a transportation challenge.
Sure.
We help with transportation, food, and lodging around treatment care. So if they were going to the hospital or they had to stay overnight, they're back and forth. But one of the most important pieces too is that our social workers, our family advocates, are also there for emotional support to help them navigate some of the challenges, some of the other opportunities, resources that are also available to them.
And between the Carolinas, you help over 2,000 families a year.
Yes. 2,000 children currently in our program. We'll hit 2,300 this year. There are 300 children diagnosed in South Carolina alone every year. And that's on top of the thousands that are already battling cancer.
Yeah. And so how do families find out information about your services? So when they go to the hospital and they're just completely overwhelmed with the diagnosis.
They are, exactly as you described, completely overwhelmed. But the social worker at the hospital, every pediatric oncology hospital in South and North Carolina has a pediatric social worker. And they tell them about our organization. They say, frequently they'll say, this is the organization I need you to make sure you sign up with. But I've talked to so many moms, just like Catrice, who said, it's overwhelming, it's daunting, we don't even know. And sometimes we're just grateful that those social workers do.
Sure.
We hear about children in the community, and we'll go sort of the back door and say, okay, can you do the referral for this child? We're just here for every child. We're need blind. no one budgets for cancer.
No, absolutely not. And how much does it cost on average to help a family?
So on average, for in-state, we average about $1,400 a year with transportation, food, and lodging. But when we have to send children out of state for treatments that aren't available in the state or for clinical trials, it can run up as much as $10,000, $15,000, $20,000.
Yeah, it's incredibly expensive. Was that a daunting thought for you when your daughter was diagnosed?
In the beginning, it was a daunting thought, but then after speaking to my social worker, Ms. Tiambe, she was very helpful with putting me in contact with not only cancer children's providers, but there were other sponsors out there that were willing to aid whenever we need them.
And how wonderful that the social worker must have been that you remember her name.
Oh, I don't forget anybody.
No, you don't forget anybody. No, but congratulations on your daughter, Mackenzie. And thank you so much for the continued work that you do. And of course, we're going to share the website with our viewers to learn about more, and also fundraising. I'm sure that you are always looking for donations as well.
We are, and we're so excited to be able to share it this day, International Childhood Cancer Day, because it's a day of awareness, but we are working the other 364 days to make sure that every child with cancer gets access to care.
Right. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're back after this.